yesterday I met with this guy on Tinder. Let's meet up. I can offer you intense, immediate intimacy. I'm leaving town in 5 days. I was like, still not rejecting him, still like thinking, okay, why not? Maybe. Well, I don't know what's his definition of intimacy. And then it turned out that like he lives in his car. I want to read it. I mean, why not? He sent this like really ridiculous message. It is like really sad. So I blocked him.
So yeah.
So is this like a conversation or an interview?
I think it's a conversation.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure yet. I don't know what my plan is.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know completely what topics or what subject. I think to start out with, so today, talking about depression maybe a little bit.
Okay.
If you're comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that you were feeling depressed.
Yeah.
Just when you woke up, or?
Yeah, I usually feel like really depressed when I wake up, and then like, I don't know, I start my day and I do yoga and like it disappears. And usually like by 9, 10 a.m. I get like really energetic, but today I just couldn't, I don't know, I felt like someone has like drank all my energy. I sometimes just like imagining like, yeah.
Yoga seems like a really good outlet or good way to fight depression.
It is depression, anxiety, whatever. But why are we making an educational? I don't know. I think I'm too cognizant of the fact that
there's a camera there.
Yeah, I don't want to make an educational movie about yoga.
Or about fighting depression.
Or about maybe yes. I don't know. I mean, I have to ask. What did you have in mind? What motivated you to like do a filmed conversation with me?
So I've been doing a bunch of stupid stuff on YouTube, kind of. I don't know if it's stupid. It doesn't have much value to me. It's a way that I can use my time where I feel more productive than just like playing video games without turning it into a video.
So you feel more, I see, you feel more productive if you make a video out of it? And
yes, that's part of it. And then coming from that, I feel like I should try and make video that's more interesting maybe than just me sitting here playing a video game or me trying to learn how to do handstands or this is now my third video project just to try something.
I see.
And I probably should have thought about it more and like created a script a little bit, but I like the idea of just having a conversation and just doing the back and forth.
So you want to use this conversation to put on your YouTube channel?
That doesn't exist yet, yes.
That doesn't exist yet, I see. But so which media, I mean, where did you publish the videos of you playing video games, or you haven't?
It has its own channel just for that, and I don't think there would be the same audience for people who like, because you kind of watch video game stuff just as background noise, or I don't know. It's a very specific audience, I think.
You don't think we can be background noise? No.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I think, again, it would be to a different audience. Who knows? I'll probably put like, the plan is to try and cut things up into like 1 minute of interesting dialogue to be able to put on that channel to say like, hey, I also created this over here. If anyone's interested in checking it out.
Okay.
Maybe. Or I won't.
I can always like wear the interviewer hat.
So what would you do for an interview then?
I don't know, ask you all kind of like semi-embarrassing existential questions.
Existential questions.
What's your biggest dream?
I don't know.
What do you think is the meaning of life?
Again, that one's tough. So I think it's just finding whatever makes you happy, really. Like, as boring as that kind of is, I don't think there's a big meaning. We're like tiny speck in the universe. Just for a blink of time, like, yeah,
Did you find what makes you happy?
No, not yet. I mean, art stuff makes me happy.
So are you happy now?
A little bit. And then interacting with people makes me happy. So yeah, a little bit. Getting outside, that's a big one. I sit inside too much. Being outside, I find, makes me way happier. I should get outside every day.
And you don't do it every day?
No. I go for like weeks where I don't leave the house. Not so much lately, but I've definitely gone for weeks and months without leaving.
When did it start?
Probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Before COVID?
Yeah, for sure. COVID just gave me an excuse to like completely embrace that. Yeah. You get out of the house like every day.
Me? Yeah.
How early in the morning usually would you say you leave the house?
Between 9 and 11.
Yeah, I need to do that. I think my life would be so much better. As soon as I get out of the house, like, I'll just go drive somewhere. It doesn't even matter where, and I'll just feel better.
I think a lot of people have your problem, especially men, and especially here in America. Maybe that should be like, you know, not conclusion, like
the topic of the
video.
The
topic of the video, yeah, like encourage people. Hey, guys watching us now, guys and
if
girls
you have
and
that same
non-binary,
problem,
please leave the house. Which is kind of paradoxical because, like, if they're watching us on YouTube,
they're watching.
Unless, like, we can say, hey guys, like, take your cell phone and go watch us in the nature or something.
No, just turn off the video. There's no value to it.
There's no value to it. Yeah.
Go outside.
So what? Okay, why do you think it started happening? Because you were like just making enough money to be. Which
we kind of talked about that before, but yeah. So I had a desk job at IBM, like as a software engineer, which was super boring job. You're just putting in the time, kind of. And then eventually I did real estate stuff and was successful enough that I was making more with the real estate than I was with the IBM job. So I quit. And now I don't really have to work. And that has been one of the worst things in my life, kind of, which is such a stupid thing to ever complain about. But it has been.
So maybe you should force yourself to work.
I've thought of, the problem is you can't really force yourself to when you don't have, like, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go get a job bagging groceries at Fry's. But I could quit the second it gets tough. Like,
so maybe you can find a job that is like fun. I don't know.
Maybe. That's where making YouTube videos is kind of fun. I'm finding hobbies, which is kind of like finding a job. So I took
but you need someone that will force you doing that. Maybe you just need like a hot dominatrix or something.
Exactly, yes. I think anytime I commit to working with someone else, then that...
I see.
Like if I say, I'm gonna make a video for myself, then I might just blow it off. But if I say, hey, do you want to go make a video with me? Then I feel like an extra push to do it. Mm-hmm. So human interaction is probably good. Probably.
Yeah.
But I think money was a really good motivator when it was one. Like, it's just an easy thing. It's really easy to gauge how well you're doing.
Right, yeah.
Because you're like, I make X dollars per hour. Like, that's simple. It's a good metric. Where with video, you can use like YouTube likes, but holy crap, that's the worst way to ever gauge your happiness with something. I would never recommend that.
I mean, money is pretty worse too. It's pretty bad too, for as a meter of anything.
At least you have control over how much money you make to some extent, where you have control over getting people to watch your stuff and to like your photos and to like your videos, but not really. Just realized I didn't silence my phone, and I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what
What is
other,
the meaning?
what is the meaning of life and what can serve as an incentive?
Well, I was going to turn it back and see. So what is the meaning of life for you?
I don't know.
You do.
Do I?
Totally.
I don't think I do.
Okay, what's the meaning of life for you specifically? What gives you meaning?
I guess the same things, making art. Yeah, making movies.
I'm super curious about your art. So I got to watch 2 of your films, and they have almost like no ability to be turned into mainstream YouTube type stuff, which is super interesting to me. Like, I don't know if I could do something like that where I guess it can appeal to like an indie crowd, which is very
Yeah,
cool.
that's what I had in mind, to get in like esoteric film festival, and like it did not as good as I wanted to. Not like I got rejected for most festivals, but like Naked America, I screened it in 3 esoteric film festivals, and yeah, I guess I hope with Naked Israel it will go better, but I don't know.
What do they tell you when they reject it?
No, just a general kind of email. Yeah. And you still haven't seen my most successful film, the one about dating with Palestinians, in which like it was really successful in like the world of film festivals. I toured it quite a lot, and I got like one of the most, and I'm not bragging, I'm just, I had that film, but like I got one of the most prestigious awards one could receive. But I kind of hate it. I don't hate it, but like I hate that I like made a bunch of much less successful stuff after it. Anyway.
So that was your first one?
Yeah, the one in which like, when I submitted it to the Berlinale International Film Festival, I didn't even know how prestigious that film festival is, and I didn't even really think about it even being like sort of competition thing in which like you can. But anyway, yeah, I just did it, and I guess that's why I got accepted. And then like after it, I had like a lot of expectations that film festivals should take my films, and you know what's the deal with expectations. So yeah.
So I'm assuming, was that first one non-nude? Or were the
Non-nude.
subjects?
Non-nude, but it was like very sexual. There was a lot of like sexual talk.
I think that's the key difference.
Maybe.
Obviously, yeah. That kind of sucks. Like, I would think out of everyone, independent film festivals,
We'll be okay with nudity, but
or at least would be willing to entertain it and show it to people and see how they react.
yeah, it's just male nudity. I think it's even harder for people to like digest than female nudity, and it's like full frontal. All like, yeah.
It was a shock to me at first when I turned it
Yeah.
on a little bit. Like, that's all that my mind was on for the first 30 minutes for sure. But I mean, that's good. It gets you to like sit there and think. You're like, why is this such a shock? Should it be? He seems comfortable with it. Like, and even if he's uncomfortable with, like, I don't know, why does it bother me so much? Why am I fixated on that? And then why does that bother me that I'm fixated on that? Yeah. But then I also sit there and think about like the film side, like, is this distracting from the overall thing that you're trying to achieve? Like, it does get interest and I like it, but it also keeps you from getting accepted by independent film groups.
Yeah, we'll see. Like the stuff I'm working on now, or with no nudity. So
That's what I was going to ask next is, Are you gonna keep going with nudity stuff or
No,
move away from that?
I'm done with it. Yeah. Not because like I'm not even sure it's really the reason that you get rejected, but yeah, I don't know. I was just like moved on. I'm tired of it. But yeah. Yeah. What else should we talk about?
I'm not sure. So you have been in the United States now for like 3 years? Is that right? My memory's terrible.
I think so. No. I think you're pretty much right.
Had you visited the US before you moved
Only
over here?
once. I screened that film about dating with Palestinians. I screened it in a pretty big film festival in Columbia, Missouri. So it's like the first time I stepped in the United States was Columbia, Missouri. It's just kind of like a shithole.
I was gonna say, I don't think of Missouri as like independent film festival.
But for some reason, for example, like Sundance is in Utah. Like a lot of these really prestigious film festivals are in like shitholes. Or San Sebastian Film Festival, which is one of the big ones, is in San Sebastian, which is kind of like just a coastal, small town. Kind of like to attract tourists in a sense.
Utah is especially interesting for Sundance because that's like a Mormon state, kind of. I think that's the most Mormon state in the United States, probably. And they're very conservative in their beliefs.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why it's there, like, to fight against that kind of like Austin, Texas became a very progressive area in the middle of Texas, which is like super conservative.
Yeah, I think Tucson is like considered to be pretty progressive. I don't know. I just keep... Okay, so what do you think about this? Yesterday I met with this guy on Tinder and he was like, hey, well, blah, 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 let's meet up. I can offer you intense, immediate intimacy. I'm leaving town in 5 days. I was like, still not rejecting him, still like thinking, okay, why not? Maybe. Well, I don't know what's his definition of intimacy. And then it turned out that like he lives in his car. And I was like...
How attractive is he? He has to be super attractive to pull off living in the car.
No, even if he's like, I don't know who, I wouldn't have...
As a guy, if a girl's super attractive, then that can like overcome basically everything for casual stuff.
Yeah, I keep matching with people who live in their cars here or
Really?
have lived in their car in the past. But then I want to read it. I mean, why not? Like, he sent this like really ridiculous message.
The first thing sounded a little bit, I mean, it's direct. If it works, it got your interest.
No, but this is like really sad. So I blocked him. It's like, tried calling you. You tried calling me, which kind of like, we're in 2023. Who calls someone after like...
What age is he?
Oh, my age, maybe a little. Your age, I don't know, 30-something.
People call if they're in their 30s.
But not people you don't know. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
I hate calling, so I don't know.
Oh, people like, you just match with them and just chatted a few lines. So he was like, tried calling, figured that would be easier. But no, I've lived because I asked him if he lives in his tent because something he said made me think that. So he's like, but no, I've lived in a Toyota Prius V, the wagon, for 2 years. Absolutely love it. I have a brand new ultra-light backpacking tent that I just set up for the first time yesterday, and I'm excited about it. Plus, if you want me to host, I can make it super comfortable with more room than my car bed. Although my car bed is totally doable too and super comfortable. I completely understand if you would rather find someone else with a house, haha. But I can guarantee you will never experience anything like me. And I repeat, you've never experienced anything like me. Like, how daring is that? And how...
That's
like,
a big promise.
I'm sure is fucking like terrible in bed just because of that line, you know?
I feel like if you're living out of a car, you just have to shoot your shot, and you gotta put a wide net out there, go after like as many people as you can, kind of.
I mean,
but
how
that's
daring is that? Like, who?
It got your interest, though. It's better than a boring high.
But I blocked him after this message. No, the intense intimacy was okay, because I don't know, for me, intimacy can also be like a really intimate, because like, I don't know, intimacy is like a word that I like to use, and it can be like also just an intimate conversation.
That can mean a lot
like,
of things.
Yeah, right, but you've never experienced like all the, no. So yeah.
Now you're never gonna know. It's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I don't get that much. Like, coming from the male side of things, it feels like it's on me to be unique and interesting and weird. I don't get many females coming at me from a weird, like, interesting, this is fun type story. So far, I get a lot of, everything's just fake accounts. That's
fake accounts?
Tinder for me.
What do they want?
They want money. They want your money. They
How?
usually want to sell sex, I think, or sell nudity, or sell like a girlfriend experience online of some kind. I don't think it's actual, in the real world, physical sex. I think it's the idea of it that they want to sell you. But I don't actually know. I haven't followed through.
How do they do it?
I think they're just trying to get you to go to a website and enter your credit card. If it was something where you're interacting with a real human being, then I would follow it through just to see, like, out of boredom, like, not actually go through with it, probably. But
okay,
like, I would try talking to them. But the couple I have talked to, it's basically like, here's a link to my site, enter your credit card number, and let me know once you've created, let me know what your username is once you've created it.
Yeah, you see, that's why, like, I don't get why people repeatedly blamed me of being a scam, because I never asked anyone for their credit. Maybe I should start scamming people.
You need a couple pictures that look like they're in the desert, because we're in the desert. I think that's it.
Right, yeah, maybe we should do like a photo shoot. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you just need to, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
I'm going to be fired for not being observational. You have a little bit of coffee on both. I would say lick your fingers and, I think we're good.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what other topics. So, now I'm curious about your first film a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm just seeing what things we've talked about stick in my head. The fact that I can't picture you making something now that is mainstream and acceptable. I guess not mainstream, because it's still an independent film.
It's not, but like it really like got recognition in mainstream places. I don't know. I think because it dealt with the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, although the Israeli Naked Man also deals with the conflict. So that's pretty much a hot topic.
Just from the two that I did watch, one of my main takeaways was this could never be mainstream accessible.
Uh-huh.
Like, so the idea of seeing something that you make that doesn't have that feeling, that would be interesting.
I can send it to you, of course. God, I'm cold.
It is cold. Why'd you take off your jacket?
I don't know. I didn't feel like it helps.
Yeah. It should help with the wind a little bit. We picked kind of a windy day. Once it warms up a little bit.
We should interview other people. We're not interesting enough. No, really, maybe I should drag you to, like, I don't know, starting interviewing people, or yeah.
Maybe. I don't know how I would do with interviewing people.
So you'll do the filming and I'll do the interviewing. How's that?
That would
I
work.
want to interview, like, I know it's a cliche, but I don't know. I speak Spanish and I'm interested in it, but like, I want to talk to undocumented people. I know it's like a cliche, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do the new naked undocumented or something. Maybe I'll find an interesting take of it. Like I thought it would be like, so The Man Behind the Wall, my first film is about me making contact with men behind the wall, right behind the border. So I thought, how would this look with a Mexico-United States border? Maybe I should match with Mexicans. I don't know.
I think it would do fine. The only thing is, as far as like photography, cinematography, you'd have to do that like early in the morning or late at night.
Because it's so fucking sunny?
Yeah, sunset, sunrise, like that's it.
Yeah. I've been in Nogales once trying to film and it was just so fucking bright.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's gonna blow out everything else.
So let's do it or something, maybe.
Yeah, that means traveling. It would
I'll
be good
drive.
for me. You'll drive your car?
I don't have a car.
Okay. You'll drive my car?
Yes.
Okay. I have a pretty fancy car that I'm worried about being damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
I don't know. I really want to film around the border. I can show you a little bit of footage that I've filmed.
It is only like a 2-hour drive, probably.
I think it's less. I think it's just like 1 hour.
1 hour. That's not that far.
No.
I'm just lazy and antisocial and...
Yeah, but didn't you just say in the
Yeah,
beginning
it's
of
good
the
for me.
video that
It is good
you?
for me.
And didn't you say that like you have to commit to doing stuff
I'm
with
taking
other people?
baby steps. This is like a few miles from my house. You're a few miles from my house.
Okay, what about filming in the shopping mall? For some reason, I feel like shopping malls and supermarkets are like, for me, they're fascinating locations.
And just interviewing people or just having them in the background?
Kind of B-roll. I was actually planning on doing it like later this week or like
Yeah, I'd
next
definitely
week.
be interested.
Yeah, let's go to that shopping mall.
I think there's a decent chance we get kicked out.
Well,
They don't allow filming in a lot of them. But, I mean, who cares? You get kicked out, you get kicked out.
exactly.
I haven't been to them all in like 10 years probably, so I'm not afraid of getting kicked out.
I have like a project I'm working on now, which is like about South Side Chicago. And I need some general sleazy footage of American culture that can look like it's anywhere in America. That's why I was thinking the shopping mall without like, I don't know, I don't want to see any cactus or like anything that resembles a desert. Just like, hyper-consumerism, American culture. That's what I thought. Maybe I'll try to film in the mall because I need some extra B-roll stuff.
I'd be interested just to see what the malls are even like, because it feels like over the last decade, things have changed with malls. They used to be like the place to go and hang out, kind of.
Yeah, but no, now everyone are like ordering stuff online. Yeah.
Are there still young people at malls or no? We'll
I
see.
doubt it.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
There has to be, or else they would go out of business. Old people don't buy stuff, like not at the same way as that young people do.
Huh. Maybe it's more like families. I don't know. Maybe like the stores are still there, but people still like mostly order stuff online. I don't know.
Or maybe they are out of business.
Or maybe they are out of business. Maybe they serve as a front and they just like sell drugs or whatever.
So you're telling me we might be able to find drugs? We could do that.
I
Okay.
mean, you sounded pretty indecisive of like.
Yeah, I'm afraid of
doing
drugs.
So.
They scare me a little bit. But they also interest me. They intrigue me.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I'll probably try some stuff with drugs. At least psychedelics, I think.
And you said that you don't like smoking weed?
I've tried smoking weed twice and I didn't feel anything either time.
Right.
Like, I felt my lungs were very dry and itchy, and that was it.
I hate that feeling.
And maybe I was a little bit hungry, but I didn't feel any kind of like, I wanted to feel something at least comparable to alcohol with, it doesn't have to be the same kind of feeling, but I know that I'm feeling alcohol.
Yeah.
Like there's no question in my mind. Yes, this isn't just water that tastes bad. this is doing something.
Yeah. I don't know. I was always curious about like all of weed gummy bears and stuff like that.
Edibles. I think it is legal even recreationally here now. So I should go try and pick up some, like, my fear with drugs is that I set, like, either I form a new habit that is really bad for me because I have too much free time and too much money, which is a bad combination with drugs, it seems like, or that I set like a new, this is my maximum happiness level, and then nothing ever compares to that. Those are the two things that worry me.
What is your maximum happiness level? What's like the last time you feel you felt really, really happy?
Probably something with sex or food, which is lame.
It's not lame. I don't know. I don't know.
Like, a lot of people have roller coaster type lives where there's big ups and big downs. Mine is just, like, I'm always okay. Like, bored, comfortable, not doing much.
So when's the last time you felt like really happy, even if it was sex related? When
probably
was your
sex. Yeah.
When?
Probably like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. A little while ago. Not that far.
With that girl who's your friend, but you hook up once a year?
Yeah.
So was it good?
Yeah, really good. Like, which feels nice because sometimes it's not amazing. And I think that's mostly on me. But it feels good, like, leaving things off, kind of, when you're like, okay, that was perfect, so at least I'm happy with how we left things.
What constitutes, like, a really good sexual experience for you?
That I really enjoy it, that, like, so physical fitness has been an issue with me where I've just been really sedentary lately. But now I'm getting back into the gym. So I feel like my physical fitness level is at the point where I can engage in sex without that being so much of an issue. So that's good. And then if it feels like she's really into it, or at least pretty into it, but really into it is the goal, then that makes it like 10 times better.
When she was really into it?
I think so. I don't know. It seemed like it.
Did it make you develop feelings?
I mean, I've had feelings for her, like, forever. So, yeah. A little bit. I mean, I don't know. Yes, probably.
Ideally, would you want to, I don't know, do that again?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes.
And she doesn't want to?
I don't think so. I think we're very complicated. I'm not at all what she's looking for. She wants
kids and stuff.
Family, kids, like a traditional relationship, and I'm just not in a good place mentally for that. I don't think. Every once in a while, I toy with the idea. I'm like, maybe that's exactly what I need, and it would force me to become a better person, but that's not a good way to, like, get to that place. I need to do it for me. But I woke up the next morning thinking, like, damn, maybe I should get my house, like, fixed up and cleaned up and try and get her to come live with me. And I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. Maybe I should just get myself to a decent place, start doing art stuff, get on Tinder, talk to people.
Have you spoke with her since then?
Yeah, we're pretty good as far as we've been friends for, like, I don't even know how many years at this point. At least 3 years, but probably more than that. So for a long time. It's complicated. We both know that we're no good for each other as far as, like, a long-term relationship goes. But I don't know. We like fit together so well.
In terms of sex?
Not even just that. Just in terms of talking, in terms of, I like that she's super blunt and honest, which a lot of people really aren't. And I do pretty well with criticism. I think criticism is really good for me. I don't do really well with just people who are always nice and it doesn't feel like you'll ever speak your mind if you have a problem with something. Like, I can't handle that.
Yeah, that's hard.
Like, I would rather somebody who's just an asshole. Like, And like, that's cool to me. I can live with that. I can't live with like just being nice, because I already have that too much. There'll be people who are just like, no, what you're doing is fine. What I'm doing isn't fine. I'm not doing anything with my life. It's not good. I'm wasting. Or if somebody comes in and they see my disaster of a house and they're like, oh, this is fine. No, it's not fine. I need to work on it. I need people who like kind of hold me accountable.
Yeah.
I don't need enablers. Like, I enable myself enough where I make up excuses.
Do you need someone to like force you into doing stuff?
Or I need to force myself. And I'm working on that. The biggest thing is not sitting on social media, not watching YouTube videos. Like, I waste way too much of my time with that crap.
What kind of YouTube videos do you watch?
Worthless stuff. Everything. I like anything philosophy, like discussion, politics. But then I also just like gameplay. I like woodworking projects. I like stupid welding art things. I like everything. I like watching stuff about going to Mars and space stuff. I have way too much free time on my hands, basically. And I don't use it effectively at all.
Sounds like you're really addicted to like, you know, saying negative stuff about yourself.
I think the fact that I'm coming out of like a 5-year period where I didn't do anything for those 5 years, like I can reflect on it. I did a few photo shoots. I've had on again, off again relationship with like a couple people, mostly just this one girl. But those are the only things, if I look back, that have like any value. Which is kind of sad, especially when I have basically not unlimited resources, but I mean, I'm comfortable. Like, I could travel. I could do whatever I want. Yeah.
You just like...
Don't.
I'm cold. Do you want to either change angle or call it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think call it here, see what the video looks like, play with editing it, all that good stuff.
And see if those microphones even work.